civilizations in the world. Ancient Egypt. The Egyptians were masters beyond compare. They created architectural monuments that continue to inspire us even today. Their drive to capture images, numbers and thoughts, transmitting knowledge from generation to generation, led Egyptians to create a language of their own. Look closely at the hieroglyphs. What do they represent? The Egyptians believed that the repetition of a name returns the bearer to life. Let's say together the name of one young pharaoh and delve deep into the incredible world of ancient Egypt. Tutankhamun. Ancient Egypt speaks to us from the depths of history. It does so through color. White is a symbol of purity and holiness. In Tutankhamun's tomb, the containers of food for the world beyond and a wide variety of vessels were painted white. Red is the color of war, representing Tutankhamun's power and might in battle against his enemies. Black is a symbol of night, the kingdom of the dead, and the hope for resurrection. Green is the color of rebirth, eternal youth and life. Blue symbolizes the ocean and the waters of the Nile, all of which reflect Egypt's clear skies. Yellow and gold are the colors of the sun and the gods. 100 years ago, the shine of Tutankhamun's gold changed archaeology forever. Let's find out more about Egyptian monuments and open Tutankhamun's tomb together. Before us we see the mastaba, the first monumental tomb built by the ancient Egyptians. The burial chamber was located underground. It could be reached by a shaft that was filled with crushed stone and sand. Egyptians built many monuments along the banks of the Nile. The Step Pyramid of Djoser was the first such structure to be discovered in the modern age. As designed by the architect Imhotep, the deceased pharaoh was to climb to the heavens using its 6 steps. In antiquity, the pyramid was looted, and the body of Djoser was never found. Not even a stone sarcophagus could protect him. The Great Pyramids of Giza could not protect their charges, either. The largest of them, the Pyramid of Cheops, is the only wonder of the ancient world that survives to this day. Inside the pyramid, the great king was to find eternal peace. But his pyramid, too, was looted, just like the pyramids of all his ancestors before him. Only one depiction of Cheops remains, a tiny figurine, found far away in the south. Pyramids were built for Egyptian pharaohs for more than 1,000 years. Only later did it become clear that man-made mountains were unable to protect their bodies and treasures from theft and looting. The pyramids gave way to underground tombs carved into cliffs. In order to guarantee the pharaoh's rest, they were eventually buried in a nondescript desert valley. Medieval Arabs called it the Valley of the Kings, but the ancient Egyptians knew it by another name, the Place of Truth. Tombs fell prey to raiders. Only one small tomb was left untouched, though covered in construction debris. This was the tomb of the young pharaoh, Tutankhamun. His country gave way to two chambers full of burial gifts. Among them were richly adorned pieces of furniture, parts of chariots, serving vessels and utensils, and jewels. Two statues, one of Tutankhamun, the other of his double, Ka, guarded the immured pathway to the burial chamber. The discovery of this untouched tomb caused a worldwide sensation, and the treasures of Tutankhamun became archaeological treasures. Let's take a look at the most notable examples found in the tomb. In the Egyptian religion, Tutankhamun would have used them to travel into the kingdom of the dead. Ceremonial chariots, brilliantly decorated with gold, showcase the exquisite craftsmanship of Egyptian carpenters. Tutankhamun was placed in an inner grave made of pure gold. It depicts the pharaoh in the form of Osiris. Tutankhamun's golden mask was a symbol of his treasures and made him into a household name. Tutankhamun was prepared for a great journey after death. Let's join him on his travels through the world beyond. Ancient Egyptians believed that every person had a winged spirit born after death, which would travel to the mysterious, mystical world of Jewels. Anubis welcomed each and every person to the afterlife, helping their soul find its path to the river and withstand its mighty current. After death, Tutankhamun joined Ra, the sun god, and helped him overcome dangers that lay on the way to each new sunrise. Ra's arch nemesis was a gigantic snake, Ammon. He tried to stop the solar barge in its tracks and deprive people of the sunrise forever. Tutankhamun and Ra defeat the snake, and the sun rises over the horizon once again. The soul of rank and file Egyptian followed a path much like that of Ra. But those souls faced not a snake, but the carefully guarded gates to the afterlife. The gates would only open if a person knew the names of their guardians and the necessary incantations. The Book of the Dead was to help with that. Surmounting all of these challenges and portals, an Egyptian's soul would find himself in the throne room of Osiris, where the High Court would decide on their fate. Anubis, guide to the soul, and Thoth, the god of wisdom, weighed the heart of the deceased, comparing it with the feather of the god of truth, Ma'at. If the scales were imbalanced, the monster Ammit, with the head of the crocodile and bodies of the lion and the hippopotamus, would devour the soul. Only the magical incantations from the Book of the Dead could balance the scales and absolve the soul. A pardoned soul would pass on to the kingdom of Osiris and its beautiful fields of reeds, where it would reunite with its pharaoh, Tutankhamun.